minutes, like to take a break or whatever. I'm going to give it to you. So don't feel like you have to do that. If you want to, don't go off the thing, just put yourself on mute or whatever, and then come back in a few minutes. That'll be great. We'll just take a quick break. Okay. All right, here we go. I'm going to let everybody else in. Hey, everybody. Welcome. We are going to officially start. We just finished up we just met with all our new colleagues a minute ago. And we're going to just give everybody about a 2-minute breather. So good to see you. We'll start officially in like 2 minutes. Good to look at all of you.
And Josh, while that's happening, we need to wish Taylor Cockrell a happy birthday, right? Yeah.
Look at you. You look like a birthday boy.
I actually took off the stash and crown it's wonderful. So
I think you should have put on. And Josh, weren't you just on a bus like a few hours ago?
Me?
Yeah.
A bus?
No, Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, no, this is I'm actually at camp, and this is you can't see that either. I'm in the only spot on this huge campus without any students. There's an adult Bible study going on now, but this is our first night of camp. So yep, here I am.
So great. So
That's
great.
good to be with all of you.
Yeah, that's great. I love that you were sitting in the back of the bus by the toilet. Remember those days well.
Yeah, nothing happened, so we're all good.
That's good. That's good.
No, actually, I do have to say, I'm sorry. We did have a 7th grader who took his pillow in there and slept for 10 minutes. He just went. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only middle schoolers, right?
It's just so great. Yeah. Well, it's creative. It is very, very creative. It's really, really good. Good.
Was it last year where like so many people were at camp or doing things? There's like maybe half a dozen or a dozen people or something like that. It's crazy.
Oh, that could have been. Yeah. Yeah, it's always hard. Like I think the first year I tried to find a time that worked for everybody and I gave up because it was so ridiculous. Like it was just like, there's no way I'm going to get everybody. So you have to just kind of almost call the time and date and hope for the best. So it's kind of the way it goes. But
so I talked with Dane Jackson earlier this morning, and so Dane, are you at the baseball game? I'm calling you out.
He's at a baseball game. He's not even responding.
No, he's not even listening.
Probably getting a beer and a hot dog right now.
For sure.
Oh my God.
I am at a baseball game. All right. I'm trying to find a quiet place around here to talk to you people.
You are hilarious, Dane.
Way to go, Dane.
Way to go, buddy. Well done.
And I only have one of those things, Andy, but I'm not going to tell you which one.
I know which one it is.
So I'm guessing it's not the Oakland A's, or it would be quiet there.
Oh my gosh, that's so great. Oh, good. All right. Well, I think we're all coming back. Here we are all together for the first time. This is just so exciting. I want to expand my screen here a little bit. Look at all of you. This is so fun. All right. Welcome back. Oh. Everybody, this is everybody. Like, look at all of you. So this is really, really great. So it's probably been explained to you, but first of all, I'm recording this. So there's a couple of people that couldn't make it, so I'm recording it. You probably got a notice when you logged in, right? So we're all good with that. So this cohort is a rolling cohort, which means that every year people can come in to the cohort. So there are some of you that this is like you're new, and that's probably about half of you. And then there are some of you that are in your second year, and there are some of you that are in your third year. So 1 year is not better than another. The third years don't have like all the Steve's like, well, The third years don't have it like, they're not gonna like haze the first years or anything like that. We don't have to do anything like that. But I do love the fact that we have a rolling cohort, because we like, you don't have to wait 3 years to get into this cohort, which is really important to me. And the other thing is I just find that the collective wisdom of first, second, and third years is really, really amazing. There's a freshness that comes with the ones of you that have just joined. There are things that the second and third years have learned, wisdom that I think could be passed on as well. And I think that that's just really, really important. So I'm really, really glad that you all can be together. And it was important for me to have this time together where we could just meet each other and see each other face to face. You certainly going to be interacting with each other, which is really, really important. But this is our chance to do that. So when Vanessa gets back, I'm going to take a picture because I want to do that. Don't let me forget about that, Andy. But maybe really quick, we just spent a lot of time like doing deep dive, like share a little bit about ourselves in the last hour. We don't have time for that with this group because that will be a long time. And you're doing your videos, not at your desk, as you notice. That was a very important qualification that I put in your assignment for that. But you're interviewed for that, so you'll get a chance to really kind of share a bunch more. But really, really quickly, what I want to do after I take the picture is just have you say your name, where you're from, and like some sort of title that you have of whatever you're doing, okay? And we'll just run through that really quickly. That's certainly not enough time to get to the quality and beauty of all of you, but hopefully it gives us a chance to just kind of know where we all are, and we have that going for us. But let me just take a picture right now of all of us. So get ready. I'm going to try to do this really, really well. Look really good. Oh, Dane, way to go in the. That's so great. Okay, hang on a second. Let me see if I can do this. This is not always my forte. Okay, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And I'll do one more just in case you're like, I blinked. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Oh, wait. Okay, here we go. And oh, you guys all look so great. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. We did it. Okay, so now we've all smiled. We got a picture together. Really quickly, let's just run through our names, where we're from, and our job description, or like not our description, just our title. And we can just get a little taste of that. And maybe just say if you're like first, second, or third year too, that would be really, really great. I'm going to just call you out just because then I can keep track of all of you. Amber, you went first last time. I'm going to ask you to go first again, if you don't mind. And then Casey, you're on deck, and then Weyoung, you're on after that. So go for it, Amber.
All right, thank you. That was kind of you. My name is Amber. I'm first year in this program. I work in Washington, D.C. I'm a family ministry pastor at a multi-site church out here. And yeah, I think that's everything, right?
That's perfect. You crushed it. Awesome, Amber. Great. Casey.
My name is Casey. I'm in the Washington State area, Seattle, Washington. And I'm an area director for the Ministry of Young Life. And I'm first year.
Awesome, Casey. Thanks. Weyoung.
Hi, everyone. I'm from Auckland, New Zealand. I am in my first year, and I'm a next generation pastor with Every Nation Auckland City Church. And also I lead a little educational institute teaching life skills to young people.
So glad you could make this in your time zone, Weyoung. It's great. Byak.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Byak Jin Tang. I'm in Iowa, Des Moines. I'm serving as a church pastor here. Thank you.
Thank you. Great to have you. Brian, and then Morgan.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Price, and excuse me, I'm a first-year student, and I'm in the Houston, Texas area in Sugar Land, and I'm a Spanish teacher by day, and I serve in the youth ministry at Ecclesia that is in Houston.
Thanks, Brian.
Hi, my name is Morgan Hollick. I'm in Wichita, Kansas, and I'm a middle school youth pastor.
Thanks, Morgan. Jason, and then Becca.
Hi, everybody. Jason Coe. I'm in La Mirada, California. I'm a pastor, and I've been here 14 years.
Awesome.
I'm Becca. I'm in the Bay Area in California. I'm a youth pastor over middle school and high school students, and this is my first year.
Yeah, thanks, Becca. Bianca and then Vanessa.
Hi. Good evening, everyone. My name's Bianca Howard in Atlanta, Georgia. Former youth pastor, now work for Orange as the Orange specialist for Black Church Partnerships. And what was the other thing? I'm sorry.
No, I think first year, right? Yeah,
Oh yeah, and I'm first year.
Yeah, you are.
Sorry,
Awesome.
so sorry.
You nailed it. Great.
Hi guys, I'm Vanessa Chaloto. I am also first year. I live in Central Michigan currently, and I'm a next gen pastor.
Awesome, Vanessa. Cynthia, then Mavis.
Hi everyone, I'm Cynthia. I'm serving in the Bay Area as well. I'm a next gen pastor and I'm a first year.
Thanks, Cynthia.
Hi everyone, I'm Mavis Kwan. I'm living in Vancouver and I'm a pastor in the Lutheran Church.
Thanks, Mavis. And Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie Massat. I am a former youth pastor, now live in Kansas City, Kansas, and work for a youth ministry organization called Youth Front. I'm one of the camp directors for Youth Front.
Thanks, Katie. Okay, Josh Jacobs.
Shout out Circle C alum here. Now it's called something different there in Kansas City.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Mike King's awesome, by the way. So I'm Josh Jacobs. I live in Smithfield, Virginia. I'm a second year student. I'm a next gen pastor and also interim preschool director. But yes, that's what I'm doing.
And then let's do Steve and then Dane and then Sam.
Hi guys, Steve Noble. I live in suburban Chicago. I am the pastor of family ministries at a church around here, and I'm in my third year.
Awesome, Steve. I think that was the world record right there. That was like.
Hey y'all, I'm Dane Jackson. I'm the minister to students and families here at Providence Baptist Church in beautiful uptown Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm a third year and I'm at a baseball game tonight. Yes, but I'm with our college ministry tonight. You know, I'm not just, I'm not just playing hooky from, Dmin stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for suffering. Thanks for suffering, Dane. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sam and then Chris.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sam Ning. I'm living on Fuller Campus, Pasadena. I'm a pastor of Evangelical Formosan Church of Los Angeles. I'm a second year student.
Thanks, Sam.
My name is Chris Thompson. I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan area. I am a Young Life church partner and I oversee all of the youth ministry. I'm at a local church and I oversee and kind of bring culture and DNA as the Harbor students pastor, kind of over all the other student pastors here. And I'm in my second year.
Thanks, Chris. And we'll do birthday boy Taylor, Will, and then Kelsey, and then Josh.
Hello, I'm Taylor Cockrell. This is my second year, and my title is Student and Family Minister, and I'm in Fort Worth, Texas.
Awesome, Taylor.
Hey, and Will, I live in Brooklyn, New York. Currently pastoring a church in Staten Island, New York, and I am third year, big three.
Yeah.
Me three. I'm third year. Hello, my name is Kelsey Tomlinson. I am about 30 minutes outside of Philadelphia. I'm director of Chris Ed and youth ministry at a church out here. Yeah.
Awesome, Kelsey.
My name is Josh Sumter. I serve as a university chaplain at Waynesburg University, which is about 1 hour south of Pittsburgh, close to Morgantown, West Virginia. And I am in my third year. So last year of big syllabus with lots of readings, and we'll see what happens.
And then just a final project with lots of readings. So great, all of you. We've got a couple that are missing just because of schedules, but I really appreciate you all taking the time to be at this. I wanted you to see each other face to face, and as we've started the quarter this week, you'll see each other more often in the way that you're interacting with each other and all that comes with that. So I wanted to just highlight a couple of things about the quarter, just to let you know what I think is coming down the pike that's important. And I also want to hear from any of you if there are things that are important for you as well. And then we'll leave you some time for some Q&A for Andy and me toward the end, which would be great. You should all have access to Canvas. That is the place that you go for all information. You will find that I will send you updates fairly regularly just to check in with you, and we'll be communicating through that. Because of the nature of the course, things will unroll. So like module 1 is open. I'll get module 2 and 3 and 4 open over the summer. Don't panic. I'll give you more than enough time. They're very predictable. What you see in module 1 will be super the same as module 2. If you can't wait for module 2 to open up, you do have the syllabus that kind of tells you what the readings are that are coming along the way. Pertaining readings, you're required to read 4,500 pages of reading for the 3/4 sequence. In a period far away from before you, students would just do a 12 unit course, and it would start in the summer and it would go through the winter quarter. But there wasn't like these 3/4 things. It was just one class. And so I would front end load all the reading, and we would just do all that first. I can't do that now that we break it up by quarter, because the registrar says that's too much reading per quarter. So you, for this quarter, have only gotten about, I think about 27 or 2,800 pages of reading. So there's another 18, let's see, I think you did 2,700 now. There's another 1,800 pages that are coming in the winter quarter. Do not worry about that. It will. I actually just posted the fall syllabus, and you'll be able to see what those readings are. You can get it through the Fuller website. If you go to the course schedule, you can actually see it there. And I've already, I think, sent you the list of basically all of them. I just kind of broke them up. So just so you know that's coming. There's going to be more than enough time to read it. In some ways, this is probably better because you have less of like the shock of trying to get 4,500 pages done before October. You actually have a little bit more time. You're welcome. But hopefully that'll be okay for you. But I think what's really key is for you to just keep up with your reading. And I think that the modules are designed in such a way where I'm trying to have you all read some of the same books at the same time so that you can dialogue about them. And you'll notice that the modules don't go by week. We basically have 10 weeks to do this. So I've spread out the modules in a way. And the 5th module is basically just like turn in your work. So I think you're going to find that it's pretty doable. I'm not a big fan of busy work, as you will see. One of the things that are new for all of you, at least for me, working with you, is that I've reframed the discussion posts a bit. I'm breaking you down into smaller groups so that you can get to know a few of each other a little bit better. That doesn't mean that you won't get to know everybody, but for right now, it's just easier to do that. A discussion post of 24 people is, as you know, is just crazy. I mean, there's just like nobody likes that. So I don't want to do that to you. So I think a smaller group allows you to just get to know each other and to go a little bit deeper, which will be really, really great. What I discovered, though, is that discussion posts are also crazy, because when you do like an original post and then you do like response posts, it just gets kind of nuts. And I don't always feel as though, I mean, maybe all of you are perfect, but I find that a lot of my students, and I probably did it myself, is that we do enough in a discussion post to get the credit, but really we don't go that deep. And it's, I mean, let's be honest, it's just a little bit tough sometimes. So a new approach that I've taken that I actually think works is that I'm only asking you to write an original post to the prompt that's given to you. And then what I'm having you do within each of your groups is one person in the group just writes a 1-page summary of what everybody in the group talked about. Okay. Now I do that for a couple of reasons. One is I find that if I am doing a post and somebody else is writing, I want to set them up to succeed. And if I'm writing the summary, I'm probably going to read your posts a little bit more closely because I want to represent you well, and I want to somehow put together a good summary. So I think there's something pedagogically really exciting about what's happening here, is that as everybody posts, you all decide who's going to do the summary post, and they just take some time to really read the post and then come up with a 1-pager. It's not dramatic. A one pager is not very long. It's only what, I don't even know how many words that is, but it's not that big of a deal. But I think it allows us to take turns to synthesize our work. So the work that you're going to have to do as a group is to decide each module, like who's doing the summary page. I'll let you all work that out. You're all leaders. I don't feel like I need to do that. You can, you can email each other through Canvas or figure out a ways to get together and do that. You could Zoom together and just like work on the schedule and get it done. But the hope would be is that one of you just turns in that summary on behalf of the groups, and then Andy and I will read those along the way. I mean, we go back and read all your discussions, but I find it's just really, really great because I feel like we really begin to learn to listen to each other's words, and it shapes the way that we have conversations, that we talk with each other, and it keeps us from falling victim to the busyness of discussion posts, which none of us really, I don't want to do that to you. I think that's just about what it comes down to. You're smart people, you're good people, you're busy people, and I think there's a more generative way to do that. So that's the way we're going to do that. It's explained in Canvas, but I wanted to just give you that look because it's a little bit different. If some of you are really struggling or you're not sure what to do, Andy and I are here for you. I'm really not too worried about it. And I don't want you to worry about it. And hopefully it'll just be a really enjoyable experience for you. And we can maybe redeem the discussion post, which is like my ultimate goal. So hopefully we can do that. The other thing that I wanted to bring your attention to, and this is a question that a number of you brought up, is like, well, what is an annotated bibliography? Like, what am I supposed to do with that? And if you're second or third year, you've done these, so you have a bit of a sense of that. But you'll notice in Module 1, I added something a day or two ago that maybe you haven't seen yet, and that is actually a link to the Cornell University's link that talks about annotated bibliography. I really love their explanation. It gives some examples. It gives some really super insights. And I think if you basically follow what they're doing, I'm pretty happy with that. The annotated bibliography does a couple of things for you. One is it forces you to actually think about the text that you're reading, and you're doing more than just summarizing it. You're actually thinking about, like, how important is it to you? How does it pertain to your interests and the things that you're pursuing? And so what you're doing is you're basically just taking a paragraph to perhaps summarize some things, perhaps point out particular chapters or pieces of an article that you're like, hey, this is really important. And then your own short reaction of why you think this text might be relevant to the work that you're doing. The reason you do that is not just so that I can read it and grade you, but here's the hardest part of doctoral work. You're reading a lot of stuff, and as brilliant as you are, you will not remember it. Like 4 years from now, when you're trying to write that final paper, you're going to be like, what was that book that Steve assigned in the first year? I don't remember, but it seemed really important to me. The beauty is with your annotated bibliography is that you have a place to go to actually access that work, and you'll be able to get to it more quickly. The key to finishing your doctoral paper for every year and for the final one is not smarts, which, because you're all smart, you're already smart, so that's not it. It's actually access. It's the ability to call up the things that you've been working on in an efficient way so that you haven't lost the work that you've done. So organization and a system that you have for the ways that you do your work is really, really important. Okay, so this annotated bibliography is a way for you to do that. On top of that, I just want to encourage you to think about like your filing system. How do you keep track of the notes that you take or the work that you do? How do you access that? A lot of us use Google, Google Files or whatever. I think that's really, really great. There are some other programs that I've recommended to our class that are really great. Things like Dmin is a program where you can keep all your documents together and you can search within those documents rather than searching your whole computer, which is annoying. I mean, Spotlight's great, but let's just be honest. It gives us too much. So there's fast ways to do that. And then there's things like Zotero that keeps track of all your citations, and you have a bibliography, which I want to encourage you to do now. Like all the work that you're doing and the reading that you do, I really want to encourage you to put that in some sort of tool that you use to keep track of all your bibliographies as well, because that will save you so much time later when you're asked to write something and you have to cite it, you know what to do. If you have trouble with that or you don't know where to go for that, you can reach out to Andy or me. We're happy to do that. And I also want to remind you that the library is your friend. Like, you have paid for that library and there's so many resources there for you that I want to encourage you to take advantage of that whenever you're looking for something, whenever you're looking for some resources, that's there and it's available to you. Another note about the library, every book that I assigned should be accessible to you at the library. Now, someone just alerted to me to the fact that Theology and the Women of and Women, the exact title I'm forgetting right now, that one we had in print, it wasn't in ebook, and I've just put in the request today to have that up. So if you've been looking for that book, it should be up shortly. But if you can't find a book or you can't access it, please do not go and buy it. You don't have to do that unless you really, really want to have like the hard copy or however you want to do that. That's up to you. But everything should be accessible and available to you through the library. And it's Fuller's got a powerful library. It's one of the largest theological libraries in the world. And so it's like available to you. So please take advantage of that. That'll save you a lot of money and you'll be able to access those things as well. So I just want to encourage you to do that. I also want to encourage you, this is just super simple. In a world of the cloud, I don't think it's a big deal, but just in case some of you don't think about that, like, make sure you have a system where your files are backed up. Because there is a chance between now and year 6 that your computer might not make it, and you do not want that just on your hard drive. So that's just a little announcement for you as someone who had that happen to them in their dissertation. You do not want that to happen. So I encourage you to do that as well. So I'll stop there for just a second. Do you guys have any questions about anything that I've just talked about there?
Steve, real quick, the annotated bib assignment, is that now with the reading split? Is it still one submission in the reading quarter, or is there now 2?
Yeah, great question. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just do the annotated bibliography up to what's required for the end of the quarter, and you'll turn that in, and then you'll add to it in the second quarter. So great question. So just the 2,700 pages, so just the ones that are assigned. So that's the one piece that you'll turn in. Great question, Josh.
Steve?
Yeah.
My question was about the annotated bibliography too. You said that there was a sample link for the Cornell annotated bibliography. Where did you say it was located again? That link?
Yeah, it's in module 1. You'll notice toward the bottom of a bunch of other things. I just added it, so you'll see a link to that. Yeah. Oh, Andy just put it in the chat. So, the Cornell thing. There you go. But it's right.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Great question. Yep.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
So I have a question about the working group summary page. So how many summary pages do we need to write? Because it seems that we have around 4 to 5 people a group, right?
Yeah. So I think I think what it'll come down to is you'll have to write one, and one of you may not have to write one. So you can fight over who gets that pass. So we just don't have enough weeks to do it all, and I think you can share the load, and I think that's okay. But you should only have to do it once. I would prefer everybody had a chance to at least do it once, and if one of you can't do it, you've learned from everybody else. So that's fine. Or you can share one if you want. I don't really care. But yeah, it's actually a great practice to really learn from each other and try to synthesize something. That's actually the work of a literature review, is how do you take different ideas and bring them together and make sense of that. So there's a method to the madness. So is that helpful, Sam?
Thank you.
Yep, you bet.
So just for clarity,
we
need to do, on top of just our intro video, the one discussion post and then a group summary, which is those are 2 different assignments, right?
Yes, they are.
I see them posted that way. I just wanted to confirm that I was understanding right.
You are exactly right, Morgan. So yeah, so the video, your post, and then someone in your group has to do the summary. That could be you or somebody else. Perfect. Yeah. And these posts, I just want you to understand that we have a goal in mind, and the vision is we're all going to be together in October, right? So if we can begin to start talking about the literature now and learning from each other, that makes our time together all the more rich when we get together. So, think of these as conversations and sharing ideas with each other. The goal isn't to get the right answer or to have the best post or get it just right. This is really a fairly safe place. It's a very safe place, actually, where we can exchange ideas with each other and push ourselves to learn and think and grow, right? I've told this cohort before that, like, this is one of the few places where you can say heretical things and you won't get fired for it. Like, it's okay. Like, no, like, we're gonna, you're gonna say something like really nuts, and I'm probably gonna go, wow, that's a really interesting idea. So, and tell me more about that. What should we do about that? And so we really want to create a space where we can exchange our ideas and do those sort of things. So.
I had a question. You said two questions. You said the woman and the gender of God. You said that will be up for ebook.
Yes.
Well, you think today or probably tomorrow?
The library moves pretty quickly, and it's also summer, the first week of the quarter. So I would hope by the end of the week it would be up. If not, by next week for sure, Bianca.
Okay.
And if they usually notify me when it's up. So if I get that note, I will pass it on to you. But I would say if you don't hear anything from like next week, ping me again and I'll track them down. But they're pretty good about it.
Okay. I'll keep checking as well. And
Great.
then question about the groups. When are you going to send out the list of who we're in a group with?
You are assigned a group now. You should be able to go into, if you go to people and then working groups, you'll actually see what group you're in. Did you not do that? I can show you where that is really quick. Let me just do. Okay, here I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, so here's the screen. If you go to people, you have like everyone here. And then if you go to working groups, you'll see that they're already assigned. And if you open it up, you'll see who's in it. So, and we randomly assigned that. So, so that's the way that works.
Thank you.
You are welcome. We'll show and tell there for you. So, great. There's one other assignment that's not due for the quarter, but it's due the first day of our intensive, which I'll talk about in a second, that I just want to make you aware of. And you notice that I actually note it in module 1, and that is I want you to write a 1,000-word article, okay? And the prompt is there. You'll see what it is. And this is a chance for you to, as you do the reading, I would encourage you not to write this like this week. Like, I'd wait a little bit, read some of the books. It gives you a chance to step back and ask yourself the question, like, well, what's a theological issue that in my context that I think really needs to be addressed? And then you write about that, okay? This is a way that I'm trying to encourage you to think about your interests, to think about your context, and to think about your writing. And then one of the things that we do is that first day of class when we're all together, I break you into groups and you actually will read your papers to each other and engage each other with your writing. Now, some people find this a bit scary because writing is a very intimate expression, right? Reading out loud to each other what we just wrote, we'd prefer, just to send it into Andy and Steve and they grade us and be done with it. But if we're in a cohort, one of the values that we have is that we exchange our ideas with each other. And here's why: because you have good ideas. Like, the ideas that you have might inspire somebody else. And you're working to clarify your ideas, and that only comes with us talking about it. So I just want to tell you now, to prepare for that. It'll be great. We're going to totally take care of you. It'll be a really great time. But that assignment will be due October 2nd. So I'm telling you now, I mean, it's in the syllabus. It's the next quarter's syllabus and everything else, but I don't want it to be abrupt. Like, hey, you finished the quarter. By the way, you have a 1,000-word article due in 2 weeks. I don't want to do that to you. So I'm letting you know now that it's not due at the end of the quarter, but it's due right at the beginning of the next. So there's a prompt there for that. And if you're worried about that, you can talk with Andy and me. I mean, we're happy to talk to you about your paper or whatever. This isn't a dramatic thing, but it is something that I think is really, really important and actually quite beautiful. I mean, I think you'll find it really, really exciting. Okay. So we've got that. And then we have the intensive, which is going to be so great. It's going to be so great to have you in California. Chances are the weather is going to be perfect. And it's a week together where we get to engage each other. I usually bring in some guest lecturers. My wife Jen and I have you over to our house a couple of times for dinner. It's a chance for us to really enjoy time together and in time to engage each other face to face. You have the dates for that, but I'll just remind you again that it's October 2nd through 6th. We start the morning of the 2nd, which is a Monday, so you probably want to get here on Sunday just to get settled in, especially if you're traveling. And then we end at noon on Friday. I think some of you have already made arrangements for that, but let me just encourage you to start looking now at flights and things like that. For those of you familiar, maybe not familiar with the LA area, you have LAX, which obviously is probably going to be more likely a direct flight for you. Flying into there, you're probably about 45 minutes to an hour from Pasadena from LAX, which is pretty typical. And then Burbank Airport is about 30 minutes from Pasadena. It's much smaller and much more pleasant. It's just your tickets are usually higher to fly in there, and you probably have another leg to go there. So I think you have to decide what's your value. On Friday, if we get you out by noonish, you can usually get to the airport okay. Friday afternoon, traffic in LA is a bit nuts, so you probably don't want to, have like a 2 o'clock flight on Friday. That's probably not going to be really great for you. So so keep that in mind as you plan things. Traditionally, we used to have the Fuller guest house. We sold that. We don't have that anymore. So you're a bit more on your own with finding a place. There are some area hotels. And I think if you say you're a Fuller student, there's a discount associated with that. Some of you have found that getting an Airbnb and like splitting it is actually better. You can get something pretty close to campus, and it's a better way to go. So that would be another option that I would really encourage you to think about. And again, if you have any troubles or there's anything that we can do to help, don't hesitate to reach out to Andy or me, and we're happy to do that along the way. So so those logistics are just really great to start to take care of and do that as well. So we'll do that. Most of your lunches, you're on your own with that. We eat together a lot of times, or there might be some things, but and then like we've got a couple of the dinners covered, but there'll be some expenses with that as well as your budgeting. But that's the big thing. So yeah, so that's coming up. So that will be great. Cannot wait to have you out. It's always a good time. Any questions on that? Okay. Good. I think those are the big things that I wanted to make sure you knew about. Let me just check my notes here, because I'm sure there's things that I'm missing that I want to make sure I hit. There also is, I think some of you have gotten on it, but I don't, I'm going to have to ask our veteran colleagues who's in charge of this, but there's a Youth, Family, and Culture Dmin Facebook group. Did someone just type that in? Oh, maybe not. That is a great way to keep in touch with each other, to ask questions, to say what on earth is Steve talking about? Would someone please help me? The Facebook group is there for you. And there's somebody that manages that, but I don't know who. Does anybody know who's managing that right now? I know Jeremy was doing it, but
yeah, he's the only
Oh, Jeremy.
admin technically, but if any of you say you want to be a part of it and we know who you are, any of us can approve your request.
Oh, okay, great.
But any of us can approve the request.
Okay, just for the sake of efficiency, Kelsey, you seem to be very knowledgeable. Would that be something where they could email you and you could do that?
Yep, email me, find me on Facebook, whatever.
Kelsey, thank you.
Yep.
Great. Okay. It's just a good group for you all to be a part of, and it's just a great way to stay connected with that, which I think is really, really good. One of the things that I'm excited about with this cohort about is also, I mean, Andy mentioned it a little bit earlier with our other group, but like at the Fuller Youth Institute, we're thinking about a lot of things. And I want to invite you to think about a couple of things. One is, as you are thinking about your ministry, if you have ideas, one of the values that we have at FYI is to listen to leaders, and you are leaders that we know and trust. And so if you have ideas or things that you think we should research or resource, don't hesitate to reach out to Andy or me. We are all ears, and we think that that's really, really important. We've got some really exciting research coming up. A lot of it pertains to things that you're interested in. We're doing a study on youth leaders and mental health, their own mental health, which I think is really, really pertinent right now. And we want to keep you updated on what's happening with that. And I think that by the time fall rolls around, we may actually have a little bit more to share with you about that. I don't exactly know, but we certainly will love to share you our work in progress. Also, last year, I shared with the group some of the conceptual framing we were doing for a study that we're doing on emerging adults and transitions. We just finished a nationally representative survey of 1,000 emerging adults on their experiences of transition and the way that they think about their spirituality. Andy, I just wrote the interview protocol for the follow-up interviews today. And so we're following up with another 50 interviews of emerging adults. And so this group got to really engage some of that work when it was more of a conceptual idea and a conceptual framework, but now we actually have hard data. And I think there's going to be more for us to share come fall as well. So there's just some really great things that we're trying to think about. We're really developing and expanding the way that we're thinking about youth ministry. Some of you mentioned the value and importance of diversity, of different types of youth groups, different cultures, locations. Those type of things are really, really crucial. And we're tapping into that a lot more as well. So as you think about your interests, think about FYI. And it doesn't hurt to ask us, hey, what are you guys thinking about? Because sometimes they may help you with some of your final projects coming down the road as well. And we're always interested in having people think about the work that they're doing. So I mentioned to the first years earlier that I just helped one of our doctoral ministry students from a different cohort do their oral defense yesterday. And he studied, he actually took our research from Growing Young and studied it and looked at the data pertaining to his particular denomination and tried to think about what were the implications of the Growing Young data that his denomination people that participated in it did, and how it actually impacts his work with emerging adults. So, you know, I mean, I think that's just really cool. Like, so there's just lots of ways that we think that we can resource you and explore with you. And I want you to know of that resource and our eagerness to share that with you. So you're going to probably get some stuff from Andy and me that are half baked in the fall, but which is half the fun. You get sort of the inside track to perhaps what's coming, and that's kind of a cool place to be. So we'll keep you posted with that as well. So it'll be really great. So I really quickly, you all have shared a little bit. I want you to know, like, my research interests, I spent a lot of time thinking about emerging adulthood. I spend a lot of time thinking about practical theology as an expression of innovation. Some of you have brought up this idea of how do we not keep running after things to try to make quick fixes, but how do we actually have a posture of the ways that we think about what's happening in the world and what's happening and what we can do about it. This is some of the work that we've done with some of the funding that we've received. And so I think a lot about that. My work with emerging adulthood spends a lot of time thinking about spiritual struggle and how emerging adults work through it. And also my background is a lot of yours, where I've been, it wasn't called Next Gen when I was a pastor. I was life development director, but we really was looking at kids through emerging adults. So for those of you that are holding spaces like that, you have my empathy. And I think that understanding that formational arc and what you're doing with it is really crucial as well. So I hope that you know that with Andy and me, you can tap into our interests, but also perhaps maybe some of our experiences that we've had, if for no other reason that you'll have tremendous empathy from us, and perhaps some resources or some looks or conversations that we can direct you toward as well. My goal ultimately is for your voices to become clearer and stronger in the youth ministry conversation. The conversation is big, it's overwhelming, it's diverse, it's broad, but it needs particular voices in certain spaces within that conversation to move the conversation forward. And you're at a place in your careers right now, this is my challenge for you, where it's great to ask the questions, but who's going to answer it? You are. Like, no one else is. Like, the 22-year-old's not going to do it. Like, the first time youth worker is not going to do it. It's going to be people like you that have a tremendous amount of experience and thoughtfulness already invested in your calling. And if we can help you find that angle and find that voice to advocate for young people in more profound ways, then we're doing something right. And that's our commitment to you. So the degree, of course, we'll get you there. That's part of the job, but it's what the degree represents. And it really comes back to us being able to articulate what we're passionate about, because I think that makes a difference in the world. So anyway, I hope as you read and as you ponder and you think, you don't lose sight of what it's all about. And Andy and I will try to keep reminding you of that along the way as well, and hope you remind each other as well. I think you will. So that's what I have for you. Is there any other questions you have for Andy or me, like regarding the class, regarding our lives, regarding FYI or Fuller or life? Andy would love to answer any questions about life. He's really great at that.
Oh, I got them all. I got answers.
I ask you questions about life, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I've been sort of working through, I guess not necessarily FYI. Well, okay, let's go back. Hi, I'm Vanessa and I mumble. I do Fuller Equip. I like a lot for my leaders. Is there going to be, like, for youth leaders, would there be one of like the training certificates coming through for youth specifically that I could give to my youth or kid leaders?
As a matter of fact, there could be someone that that is working on a certificate in youth, family, and culture this summer. Yeah. Okay, yes. Yeah, we've framed it out, and that's one of my projects for the summer. So yes. Yeah. So actually, Vanessa, I in all candor, I think it'd be great as we develop it to see if there's ways that if you can test drive it, that'd be glorious. I mean, we're going to need people like that. So if that's something that you're interested in, I mean, here's an opportunity for you to actually contribute to, giving feedback on what we do. So, we'll keep you in mind.
Absolutely. We already, if it ever came up, we'd already talked about it with our staff. Like, if it ever comes up for our leaders, like, we're just going to pay for it so they can just take it. So I've been like,
okay, you've just made Andy really excited, and now he's going to use that against me to make sure I get this done. This is fantastic, Vanessa.
Yes.
I think Andy put you up to that.
I did not, but I will take it. I will take it, Vanessa. Yes, we will. I mean, hopefully by January, February of next year, we will have it ready for test drive. So look for it.
And for those of you that don't know what Equip is, that's an arm of Fuller that does non-credit online training that's used for further education, for volunteers. You pay for the online training, and then you have that as a resource that helps you with everything from spiritual formation to leadership to what we're going to develop, youth, family, and culture. There's like a battery of opportunities for you to use for yourself or for those that you're training. So yeah, that'd be great. We'll put a link in for that, Andy. I think it'd be great. So thanks, Vanessa. Great question. Anybody have anything else? Okay, well, good. Well, how about this? I would love two of you to pray for our group. And then I'll bless you and I'll send you on your way. But I would just love for that to happen. So I'm just gonna trust as we pray that two of you are gonna pray. Okay. So worst case scenario, Andy and I will pray. No, but I bet you can do it. So if you wouldn't mind, two of you, go ahead and why don't you pray for us, and then I'll send you on your way.
God, thank you so much for this time to use technology and come together and meet each other face to face and plan together and dream together, and just the time that we have to share what you've been doing in our lives. And I just pray that we will have the focus in the coming days and weeks and months to do what you have planned for us to do, and that it would grow each of us, and that we would use the work that we're doing to impact your kingdom in the world.
Thank you.
Lord, I pray that this class can be a space where we don't really need our social batteries all the way charged up, but it can be a place where we can just bring ourselves wholly, whatever we are, however much we have. We know it's enough, and you brought us all here for good purpose, good reason, because there are things in us that the world needs. And I pray that you give us the confidence to see ourselves the way that you see us. And I just pray against any like imposter syndrome or anything that we might be feeling that make us feel like we don't have enough, or we don't have good enough ideas, or we don't know how to say it the right way. You will be with us along the way. And I just pray that we grow in love of each other and just in wisdom and how to serve you and build up the kingdom. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Great to be with you all. Let me leave you with this. My friends, may you know that you are doctoral students. May you embrace this role as you hold the many roles that you're trying to negotiate. May you know God's faithfulness as you negotiate that and do your best. May you know God's grace as the Spirit allows you to discover things about yourself and about young people. May you never forget what it's all about. And may you know God's grace and peace. Thanks, everybody. Great to see all of you together. We'll be talking with you.